that the liberal media is keeping away from the people. California's catastrophe keeps getting bigger and bigger. The funny thing is, they are not focusing to repair the damage, but instead they try to hold a referendum to proclaim independence. This would not have happened if California had some decent governing. The liberals who run California do an awful job. They gave more than a million illegal immigrants, and yet they are going to declare themselves as a sanctuary state and deny the U.S. immigration laws that President Trump is about to make. Aside that, they are facing maybe the biggest dam catastrophe ever, because Lake Oroville is going to make the dam to collapse if any more rain falls, and it will fall. The people are in panic, with more than 200,000 of them being evacuated. The story that the liberal media won't tell you about is that this disaster happened because of the politicians who ruined the country. According to Mercury News, more than a decade ago, federal and state officials and some of California's largest water agencies rejected concerns that the massive earthen spillway at Oroville Dam, at risk of collapse Sunday night and prompting the evacuation of 185,000 people, could erode during heavy winter rains and cause a catastrophe. 3 environmental groups filed a motion with the federal government on October 17, 2005, as part of Oroville Dam's relicensing process, urging federal officials to require that the dam's emergency spillway be armored with concrete, rather than remain as an earthen hillside. That was the time when the actor Arnold Schwarzenegger was a governor. He is known to be an enemy of the Republicans, and now is doing everything to ruin Donald Trump's rating. The catastrophe now is the result of him, and the Democrats in California did not take that problem seriously with time. And now it is up to Trump to repair the damage. As a matter of fact, he was speaking for making a stronger infrastructure in America during his campaign. Just in after Michael Flynn, another major resignation strikes Donald Trump. We all heard that Michael Flynn resigned as National Security Advisor because of the accusations that he made some phone calls with Russian officials. Several hours after that, Joseph P. Clancy resigned as head of the Secret Service after 2 years in that position. Joseph P. Clancy was brought by Obama in 2014 after the long searching of candidates. This week he noted the White House officials that he is resigning the position on March 4. According to him, his best moment in his career as a head of the Secret Service was when he and his officers protected Pope Francis on his visit in America. He said, "We had been going through a tough time, but I could see in their eyes and hear in their voices they were determined to succeed. They wanted to prove to everyone they could complete this most difficult mission, and they did. I knew they were exhausted, but they were determined, and knowing what they had been through over recent years, it was inspirational to me." Other former officials said some good things about Clancy. For example, former director Ralph Basham said Clancy will be remembered as a solid leader. Due to his calm and professional manner and approach to problem solving, he's just done a tremendous job for the department. It was an incredibly difficult couple of years. Not to say they do not have issues remaining, but I think he's put the organization on a good path to getting better," said Basham. Share your opinion on this subject. Big changes are happening in America, and there is nothing the Democrats or the illegal immigrants can do about it. The Democrats are still trying to stop Trump at appointing his cabinet nominees and create fuss about his immigrant travel ban while Trump is doing business and tries to make his campaign promises come true. The wall is set to be finished in a couple of years. They are on a good way to be exterminated, and our economy is going back on the right path. Democrats are making a bad use of their position, trying to put down Trump's work while wasting the opportunity to help him as our new president, and do good to America. Nevertheless, the other part of the U.S. is doing everything to help him do so. According to the Independent Journal Review, as reported by the Wall Street Journal, Trump pressed ahead with his immigration crackdown this week, launching deportation raids across the U.S. The Daily Beast reported that Trump's deportation force conducted an enforcement surge in multiple cities around the country. Over the last 5 days, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, agents conducted what they call an enforcement surge in the Los Angeles area, arresting more than 160 undocumented immigrants. The liberals were making all kinds of noises for the Muslim ban, that they totally forgot about the idea that illegal immigrants are roaming across our country. Thank God Homeland and ICE, with the support of our president, are doing everything in their power to capture those immigrants, drug dealers, rapists and other kinds of criminals. The Democrats cannot stop this process really. The only thing they can do is help to make Trump candidates for high positions be elected faster and stop the media noise they are creating. While all this is happening, ICE, DHS and all other law enforcement agencies are arresting all of those illegal immigrants. They will soon be removed from our country. What do you think of Anti-Trump activists stopped an ambulance from proceeding? The reaction is not good. For the past 2 weeks, all liberals have done is rioting against Trump. And they are not afraid to use one of their favorite ways to do so: blocking the major streets, causing alarming traffic jams across the major cities. Unfortunately, these little games of theirs are not harmless. Besides the physical damage, many people were damaged personally, hence the enormous traffic jams. Lizette reported, around 200 protesters blocked traffic on Route 34 around 5 p.m. on Saturday as they marched and carried a banner that read, "No ban, no wall, New Haven." The state police report stated that the protesters obstructed an ambulance carrying a critically ill patient. Due to this delay, ambulance personnel was required to perform an emergency medical procedure in the ambulance instead of at the hospital, they added. Just one protester stepped aside to let the ambulance pass. The officers tried to guide him out of the way. He pushed an officer trying to get back. Reported Shift Commander Lieutenant Sam Brown. The condition of the patient in the ambulance is still unknown. During the incident, 3 protesters were arrested by the police. The police confirmed that anti-Trump activists are the biggest threat to their security right now. "It's happening," New Haven Assistant Police Chief Tony Reyes stated. "We have to be ready to deal with and try to do it in a way that balances our commitment to community policing while keeping our officers safe," he added. By far, their true intentions are well understood. They don't care about anything rather their own ideas. What is your opinion on this matter? Trump makes a huge announcement about his travel ban. We know that last week the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals denied Donald Trump's executive order for travel ban from the 7 risky countries that are known to produce terrorists. It seems like Donald Trump has no intention to give up on his orders. According to Breitbart, Barr, Trump talked about his order during the press conference along with the Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Trump openly defended the travel ban in front of Trudeau, knowing that he is against this order. He said, "I'm just doing what I said I would do when we won by a very, very large electoral college vote, and I knew that was going to happen. I knew this is what people were wanting, and that was not the only reason. That was not my only thing that we did so well on. But that was something very important. We're actually talking people that are criminals, very, very hardened criminals in some cases, with a tremendous track record of abuse and problems, and we are getting them out. I said at the beginning we are going to get the bad ones, the really bad ones." Even though Trudeau was openly against Trump's executive order, yesterday he did not say nothing, but rather had a more selective approach on the subject. He said, "There are times when we have differed in our approaches, and that's always been done firmly and respectfully. The last thing Canadians expect is for me to come down and lecture another country on how they choose to govern." What do you think of this? Share your opinion. Just and George Soros with another terrible plan to destabilize our country. One of Jeff Sessions' biggest promises as a new appointed Attorney General was that he will deport all the illegal immigrants. The conservatives were pleased with this statement, while the liberals with George Soros behind them seem to dislike this pretty much. Looks like Soros did not give up on the idea of destroying America. He plans to organize more and more anti-Trump protests according to our media sources. Chris Farrell, the Judicial Watch's Director of Research and Investigation, said, as government returns to actually enforcing the country's laws, There will be a marked increase by various activist groups to disrupt and engage in various activities to publicize or promote their agenda. It will be a steady diet from the media. You will see nothing but very sad stories of how the people that are felons are actually the victims of America, and so I think they will conspicuously avoid the persons involved in violent crimes against Americans, the heroin dealers and the guys involved in the grand theft auto operations, and instead you'll see the focus on tearful children. George Soros is known to invest a lot in his puppets. Hillary Clinton was one of them, and she is known to support his idea of open borders and no nations worldwide. But when Trump won, all of Soros's plans fell into water, as he lost a huge amount of money. Now he is trying to destroy Trump and undo all of his actions. We must stand united to protect our country and not let some psycho billionaires do as they wish.